Okay, so I haven't made a video in a while, and I was thinking of making one, and it definitely wasn't my intention to make something so depressing. But isn't that life? Like, Jesus Christ, I feel like the older you get, the more you see how much shit is in this world. And it's like, I don't understand it. I don't. The reason why I'm rambling is obviously because of the shooting that has taken place in Newtown, Connecticut at the elementary school. A man who was heavily armed, entered and killed, I think, 26 people, and they think that the numbers could be more. It's so sad. It's like in an elementary school too. Like, innocent kids, really? It literally breaks my heart. It makes me so mad. And, it brings up so many thoughts, weird thoughts, but, maybe not so weird, I guess. Like, I remember in high school, I had a lot of classes that were centered around debate. And the big topics for debate, are gay marriage, abortion, and another one was capital punishment. And I was one of the many few that believed pretty strongly in capital punishment. And I remember pointing out people like Ted Bundy, and like people in Rwanda that slaughtered dozens of people and children, and I think that they deserve to die. I think that if you take a human life, I mean, sometimes the circumstances are obviously different. I'm not talking about if Bill accidentally, shot somebody. He obviously doesn't deserve to die. But I'm talking about this guy who killed all these kids, 26 people. I think he deserves to die. And he will. It'll be a long fucking journey with tons of. Oh, my bad. He is dead. I'm sorry. I'm going on a rant and forgetting the facts. But if he was alive, it would have been a long journey of him, going through courts and blah, blah, blah. And, find our tax dollars at work just to put him in the chair. But, I don't think that people that do these things, that murder dozens of children and women and whatever, people that are this disgusting and horrible, deserve to laugh or smile, not when they took that away from somebody else. That's why I believe in capital punishment. I think about stuff like that when I hear news like this. And I think about how lucky I am. My depression and anxiety, it makes me fear dying. It makes me feel like I want to die, but it also makes me fear dying as well. And stuff like this, sad to say, it doesn't make me happy, but it makes me realize that, life is so fragile and it's so fleeting. And a lot of it has to do with people like this, just terrible people. And another thing I think about, and I'm going to sound like a nut, but I don't care. I really don't fucking care because it's my opinion and whatever. But people need to understand that there's a difference between your thoughts and your actions. I have anxiety, so I worry about everything. I've worried about going crazy. I've worried about, maybe like becoming like just going crazy and hurting somebody, or like I know I never would, but like since I have anxiety, generalized anxiety, I tend to worry about every possible thing that could go wrong. But that's my thoughts. Those aren't my actions. My actions are what determine who I am. They're what make me the person I am. Because you can think things. Your mind's this big, vast ditch of just endless thoughts. We have hundreds of thousands of thoughts a day, but we barely act on any of them, you know? And I think it's important for people to know that your thoughts are not you. They may cross through your mind, but they are not any kind of determining fact in who you are. Who you are is what you do. It's how you act. So when I see people like this, who clearly have had issues before they went out and killed someone, I think, why didn't they speak up? I feel like maybe not everybody, but a lot of people know when what they're thinking isn't right. Like, if you're having thoughts of killing someone or hurting someone or hurting yourself or whatever, tell somebody. Don't be embarrassed, and don't wait till it gets to the point where you actually act on it. Tell somebody before you act on it. Believe it or not, there are people that are like pedophiles, or not pedophiles, but there's people that have sexual urges for like children, and they have the mental images of harming people, but they realize that it's not normal, and they speak up and they get help. There are people that, I know this is so off topic, but like there are people that probably uh, would be considered pedophiles if they were to let their thoughts determine their actions. But because they notice that this thinking pattern isn't normal, they get help. Your thoughts are not you. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm just rambling. And it just, God, I mean, I heard about the Conneticut shooting from my mom on Facebook, but I didn't know how many people were affected by it. 26 is a lot of people. It's really sad. It's the second worst. I'm sorry. It's the second worst incident next to the Virginia Tech. And you know what? It's all in our generation too. And I really feel like it's just this lack of communication. And I see it everywhere. I joined Tumblr almost a year ago. Not almost a year ago, but almost 7 months or so ago. And before I spoke up about my depression and before I talked to my parents and I got help, I would end up following, not on purpose, not even on purpose, but all these depression blogs. People that just posted and were blogged endless pictures of just sad things all the time. And I found myself reblogging them, not for attention like some people think, and not to make myself worse, but because I related. And I felt, okay, if I relate, I'll reblog. But what I found was that surrounding myself with so much negativity and, looking at like just negative, non-positive things was making me worse. And, I unfollowed a few of those blogs, but a lot of them I just scroll right past and I don't even look at because I realized that my thoughts are not me. And I can change them. You can change how you think. I mean, your mind is always going to wander back to that place you don't want to be. But change is possible, and getting help is possible, and being different in this world and towards other people than acting in accordance to what you're thinking is possible. But I think that people these days are just so shut out. We're just so stuck in the stigma of just embarrassment and just fear, and it's terrible. And I'm just, God, I don't know. I'm rambling. I feel so bad for these parents. Think about it. Most of them are, lost kids. The majority of these people killed were kids, and I'm sure by now parents have their Christmas shopping done, all those presents, trips planned. I don't even know. I'm rambling, but I hope anybody who is affected by this really finds some peace. And that's all I can say. Alright. That's the sad news for today, guys. I'm sorry I couldn't bring something better. But, yep. Thanks. Bye.